with JP
and Stacy D and Dream.
And Dream is in the house. I am JP Craddock, and this is the wonderful one and only Stacy D Love. We are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
and Wisdom.
All right, coming up on the show today, our question of the day is, this is going to be juicy.
It is, because guess what? I just found out what it was. Because earlier we got the text. Hey, speaking of Unspeakable with JP and Stacy D.
I told you what the show was about.
No, I didn't catch it. Okay, shouldn't you just be like, okay, Stacy D, we're going to talk about da-da-da-da-da. You don't tell me what happened in one of your therapy sessions like, these people are really crazy. We need to bring that up on the show. I said yes.
No, this... What is that? This was not... no, that's not even what I said. This was about red flags. This is not... this is a red flag for me.
Right.
Remember, last week we talked about red flags, and
not everybody's red flags be right though. But come on,
everyone has to know what their red flags are. Those people who you do not allow into your world. And one of my red flags is borderline personality disorder. This is not. I didn't text that this was a client. I don't work with this group of people.
I know you don't.
But I got a text.
Exactly.
But this is different from the one I talked about last week. So the question of the day today is, so what exactly is borderline personality disorder? And how do I escape the explosive anger, ridiculous drama, and fighting? Okay, so the brief summary of this diagnosis from the DSM-5, real quick, is a pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, self-image, affects, which is the outer presentation of our mood, and marked impulsivity. But that does not even begin to this diagnosis. People with this particular personality disorder are extremely difficult
to deal with.
Yes, it is in the same cluster. This is a cluster B diagnosis, and I know you all are like, what the heck is that supposed to mean? This is in the same cluster as antisocial personality disorder, which is a sociopath, and narcissistic personality disorder,
which we have discussed.
We've covered both of those.
Yes.
And so this is the third of 4 personality disorders that are in that cluster. The fourth one is histrionic personality disorder. And really, I don't even know why it's in that cluster, because they do not assault people psychologically or physically or emotionally. But we should cover histrionic because it is really interesting.
We should. So then we have the whole
We're going to cover
cluster.
The whole cluster.
Mm-hmm.
So that is... that's going to be the question of the day. But before we get to that, let's do our check-ins, because I got a good check-in, too. So what's up, D? What's your check-in?
Oh, you guys, my kitchen. Let's go to the kitchen.
Oh, they watched the show last week.
Who did?
Remember?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Did they like it?
They was just like, we just chalk it up to Stacy D being Stacy D. So I don't know what that meant. But
give them a plug, because I don't think you gave the name of the company.
Oh, hell, I don't know the name of the company.
Oh, Lord. I hope they're not watching today.
But I give you a plug. I will give you a plug next week. Next week, that's May. I will give you a plug next week. Somebody remodeling.
If you gonna talk bad about them on the radio,
no, I'm not gonna talk bad about them.
You need to give them a plug.
I gave them their name, the 2 old men, the 2 slow old men.
That is not the name of the company.
But I do want to say that they are OCD. Like, I'm telling them, I don't even see that. And it's like, no, Stacy, but someone else might come in and see it. You're just not into detail. And I was like,
I need them doing my counters.
Yeah, they're doing such a great job. Today is the last day. But they're not done because my granite man cannot get in for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? You don't have countertops?
Yeah, they still left. No, they still left the countertops up, but the kitchen's not going to be done because then they can't hook up my new sink, my new faucet, and they can't do my backsplash. Because you have to have the countertops. But when I tell you they had done, I can't wait to show you guys the before and after pictures. It's like such a transformation. Like, it looks like it's more sunlight comes in. It looks bigger, and I know it's not bigger, but it do look bigger. I'm just like really in a good feeling about it.
2 old men be handling business.
2 slow old men be handling the business. I'm gonna tell you.
Let's rename the company.
I know.
Let's call it 2 old men.
2 old men remodeling.
2 old men.
Because one be up in there, he be thick. He's Michael Jackson. He used to dance with MC Hammer.
Literally
back in the day.
Or to the radio like the rest of us.
No. He used to be one of MC Hammer's. I remember when they did that curtain call. It was like in the 80s, the late 80s. I was actually in college. I was in Pittsburgh, and they did the curtain call. He came down here, and I remember it was one of the guys I used to be on the marching the
Cobras.
Yeah, the Cobras. Snoopy.
Really?
Yeah, Snoopy. Him and Snoopy were the 2 guys, and he'd be up in there dancing. I'd be like, okay, Fred, old man. See, he even got an old man's name, Fred.
He got an old man.
He got an old man's name, Fred.
With the exception of the Fred I know, we not talking about you. You young. You young.
My Fred is old, but
Her Fred is old.
My oldest 2 old men remodeling.
2 old men remodeling.
2 old men remodeling.
Okay.
LLC.
2 old men, whatever the name of the company is, we need you to change it because we're plugging it as 2 old men remodeling.
And
that's a better
so
name.
Good. They're a little slow, but they're
thorough.
But they're too thorough.
Yeah.
Because they actually have painted my cabinets like 10 times because they continue to see the brown, and I'm like, I don't see nothing but white.
Oh, it's bleeding through.
But I don't see it.
Right.
I just don't see it. But they see it.
I need 2 old men up in my house.
Yeah, it's lovely, and my floors are just gorgeous. They're just gorgeous.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Okay, well here's my check-in. I'm in private practice, and when you're in private practice, self-employed people are required to pay self-employment taxes.
I know.
Because in America, when you give yourself a damn job, you got to pay self-employment.
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense.
That is foul, America. Okay.
Just foul.
So, as a self-employed person, I
bet you the Republicans is not for that.
Oh, they're probably, don't you start your Republican mess, Stacy D. We're not going to start your Republican mess.
We're not doing any of that. Okay, come on, let's get back into your check-in, JP. Check-in. Ching-ching. We need to get a little bell that says check-in.
She tried to slide in some Republican mess. Listen, this is a Democratic radio station. Mr. Walker, you better tell her. Mr. Walker doesn't allow that kind of talk. Okay, but I am against self-employment taxes, all right? And
that Kansas City tax, too.
Yeah, I'm against that, too. But for me, the IRS takes such a huge chunk.
I don't like them people either.
Here's what I came to the realization. Here's what I have been doing that I realized I'm going to switch it up. It's time to switch up the game. Okay.
Do you really want to say it here on the radio?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say it on the radio. But here's the disclaimer.
What is it called? Speaking of unspeakable.
Yeah, I'm going to speak the unspeakable, but here's the disclaimer. I am not encouraging anyone. Don't y'all play with Uncle Sam. He will hurt you.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Boy.
Uncle Sam.
To the white meat. And to the white meat.
Uncle Sam will hurt y'all.
I've been there before.
Me too.
I've been there.
I live in tax hell. But here's what I'm going to do.
What you going to do?
That I'm not encouraging y'all to do.
Okay.
What I typically do is, when you're self-employed, you're supposed to pay quarterly taxes because you don't have an employer sending in taxes every time you get paid. Mm-hmm. And so you send in taxes quarterly. Well, I do not do that.
You don't do that?
I never do that. What I do is I leave the money in an account. I just build the money up in an account, and then when it's time to pay taxes, I just cut the check for it, and it's usually between $10,000 and $15,000.
It sure is.
But what I realized is that the account that I have been saving this money in, it's a Square account that my clients pay directly into for their deductibles and co-pays. That account pays zero
On interest.
interest.
Yeah, that's
So
not good.
I am ending up with $10,000 to $15,000 sitting in an account earning no
money.
interest, which I might as well send it in to Uncle Sam if it's just gonna be sitting in an account not earning me no money.
Exactly.
Guess what I'm going to do?
What you about to do?
I started thinking about it.
He
And I
has his
started
stocks up,
thinking,
everybody. He has his stocks up.
well, my thoughts were, I need to earn some interest on this money if I'm going to hold it from Uncle Sam.
I agree.
So, in doing some research into what banks pay, the highest amount of interest I came across was 1.25%. Most banks on these high interest savings accounts pay 0.6 something percent interest, which ain't crap. So once again, I was like, for 1.25%, I might as well send this money to Uncle Sam, but I'm not sending this money to Uncle Sam. So I did further research, and then I came up with an idea.
Listen, out the bag. Take it out the bag.
I am going to take this money from this account as it comes in, and I am going to invest it in stocks because stocks pay me way more than 1.25% in profits. See, the profit you make from stocks is the same as the interest that you would get from an account. You put in a certain amount of money. Let's say you buy $100 worth of stock and you end up gaining
Let me
10.
bring up my little stock place.
Pull up your portfolio, and you earn 10% profit when the value of that stock goes up. So your $100, you now have $110. Well, according to putting money in these banks, I would get 1.25%. But listen to this. This is how much profit. This is the percentage I earned on my stock investments. D, you ain't even ready. Okay.
No, I'm not, because mine don't look like yours.
I'm not going to say the companies, because even though I gave the disclaimer that I am not, we don't give financial advice here. I don't want nobody investing money and then
want to call us because
lose
if you
money.
Come down here. I have some pent up anger and frustrations in me that's ready to come out.
Something bad will happen.
Bring it on down if you want to.
Come down to the station if you want
Come
to.
on if you want to.
The D's ready for you. So I'm going to prevent you from coming down here. I'm not going to say the names of these companies, okay? But I'm going to say what I earned. And I'll say what type of company. An oil company, I earned 115%, which means that $10,000 to $15,000 that sat in that account, if I would have put all of that on this one stock, I would have ended up with $20,000 to $30,000. My tax bill is $10,000, which means the profit from that investment would have paid my whole tax bill, and I would still have my $10,000. That's just one company. Another oil company, I earned 170%. Another oil company, I earned 152%. Another one, 108%. All of these companies, I doubled my investment. This is my pandemic portfolio, okay? I opened this portfolio when the pandemic started.
What was that, like 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do.
You just dropped a whole lot of knowledge on KUAW today.
Yes, I did. On a tech company, a particular tech company, a major tech company.
Yeah, we know.
That is
bothering us about this tech company.
A tech company that I don't like their product.
I know. He don't even like their product.
I don't like their product. But I bought their stock. I sure did. And
he's not prejudiced.
Here's my thought. My thought is I can put it on one of the oil companies and it double. But if I want to go conservative, I can put it on this tech company, because this tech company, I earned 21% profit. Now, 21% is far from doubling my money like the oil stocks, but 21% is far, far above and beyond 1.25% that it would earn in an interest earning savings account. Now, there's another company that is very stable, because I'm thinking, because this is Uncle Sam's money.
Oh, I did invest in that company too.
This is Uncle Sam's money. And so I haven't decided if I want to put it on the oil stocks, even though my money has doubled in all my oil stocks. If you want to invest and be a little conservative, a little safe, you want to look at like the tech companies, and this company is a particular automobile manufacturer. I'm not going to say which one it is, but they're huge. And my profit in that company is 24%.
I didn't invest in that one.
Far above the 1.25. And so all these years I have been putting money in an account that has not been earning any interest, saving it up all year and sending it to Uncle Sam by April 15th. I don't even want to think about how much money, $10,000, $10,000 to $15,000 a year, doubled every year. My profits would have been paying my taxes. I don't even want to think about how much money I've lost.
I know, we're not even going to think about it.
But I'm about to start
We're just going to do it in
making
2 years.
I'm about to start making it.
I ain't mad at you.
So that's my check-in.
That's a good check-in, which I think I did. I have invested in at least one of the companies.
I thought I gave you a list of oil companies.
No, you didn't do that. That wasn't me. That was someone else.
Oh, that must have been Terry.
Listen, because
Okay.
Because you can tell I'm a foodie. Listen, you can tell I'm a foodie because I didn't invest in a lot of eateries.
Really? Stacy D.
If I eat there, I think I should invest in it.
I believe that also, but the oil pays a lot more, and oil and tech companies pay a lot more.
I did invest in a tech company because you told me to do that.
Okay.
Well, when you were sending out the nasty texts to us talking about go get this, go get that, go get that, I'm like, oh well, let me go get some of this stock.
Right. Because this one tech company whose products I do not like. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say what product I do like. I am a Samsung Galaxy Note lover. I run my whole practice from this phone. This phone, let me tell y'all something. The stylus that comes with this phone, this thing is a remote control. I can hand this phone to Mr. Walker and control it with this. This is a remote control. You can use gestures to make your phone do something. The problem, though, is Samsung stock is so expensive. And it's confusing to try to buy it because they make everything. They got phones, they got TVs, they got washers, they got dryers, they got... And so they have so many companies, I couldn't really figure out, like, where the heck... Okay, and so... Samsung is the company that I love, but there's a company that Stacy D loves. And I'm not a particular fan, but like I said, I buy that stock. And as I just pointed out, even if I would have put the money there, 20%. So it would have earned me $2,000 if the tax bill is $10,000. If I'd have put the $10,000 in there, I'd have earned $2,000, which would reduce my amount to $8,000. But I'm seriously thinking about putting it on one of the oil companies and allowing that profit to pay my whole tax bill. So we cannot suggest any specific, we don't give investment advice, but I can suggest to you all that you invest, that you do the research. Investing in stocks is so easy now. If you have a cash app, and everybody has it, you click the squiggly line at the bottom of the screen and immediately you can start buying stocks, okay? And you want to look at the companies that are doing well. Tech companies tend to do well. Oil companies tend to do well. Travel companies have done well in the past. Now, what I did this week is
those airlines have gotten on my nerves.
I sold all of my airline stocks except United. I sold, because it's doing all right. I sold all of my
Tell me
airline
more names, just airline.
and my cruise line. Yeah, I'm not going to say.
You already did.
Well, because okay, you're right. I'm not suggesting, let me make this clear. This is a disclaimer. I am not suggesting that you all.
Before women done got another phone call and getting shut down again.
I am not suggesting you all go out and buy stock for that particular company. But I did sell all my other airline stocks and my cruise liners because I've been waiting for the pandemic to fade out so that those stocks could bounce back. But I'm like,
they're not bouncing.
It's been 2 years.
I'm losing.
I've been losing money. When I bought those stocks, I thought the pandemic was going to last I thought it was going to be over in a few months. And so I have spent 2 years buying stock in cruise liners and airlines, waiting for the pandemic to end, and have been losing money. I transferred all that money to the oil companies this week, with the exception of that one auto company. And the reason why I did it is because something's going on with that auto company that has been very public, and it caused the stock to drop, which made me think, oh, it's on sale. When a major company's stock drops, I don't panic and sell it. To me, it's on sale this week.
It's on sale, so better go buy some more.
Because certain companies are always going to bounce
Come back up.
Like that tech company that Stacy D loves so much. I joke about that tech company, but the bottom line is I did earn 20% profits, and they are a stable company. You always going to make money with them.
I believe so, too.
And you're going to make more.
I'm going to invest more in there.
You're going to make more than 1.25%, which is pathetic. Okay. All right. So that's my check-in. Let's get to, I don't have a lot of mental health and illness in the news because covering borderline personality disorder is intense. We about to talk about the people who have cussed y'all out for years and years and years. We're going to explain to you the people who have been cussing you out and treating you horribly for years, because you didn't know it was a diagnosis for that. When a person's personality is deeply flawed, there is a actual diagnosis for that. So, because a lot of times people are like, he just got a bad personality. No, it might actually be a diagnosis. Okay, mental health and illness in the news. This is a sad story. A 3-month-old was kidnapped in San Jose, California this week. And when I saw the video, they caught it on video, this man walking away with this baby in this baby carrier. I almost screamed just seeing that on the news because I got a baby. And he walked away. The grandmother was unloading the groceries. And this is interesting because I think about this every single time I go to the store. You know how you come back from the store and you are like, okay, I got to unload the baby. I got to unload the groceries. What do I unload first? Always unload. Scratch that. I'm not giving advice on this, okay? Because we don't want anybody to come down to the station and Stacy D had to hurt somebody because something happened to that baby.
I got this bent up frustration right now. So
she's ready to hurt somebody.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. But the grandmother did what I do. I always unload my daughter first and then come back and get the groceries. Now, the other option is to unload the groceries, but you only do that if you are parking in the garage and you totally close the garage door.
Yeah.
Because you can't be leaving a baby in the car, you unloading groceries, you come back to the car, the baby's gone. But the grandmother, she didn't do that. She unloaded the baby first. But what happened was when she went back to the car, he slipped into the apartment and stole the baby.
This is scary. This is scary.
And this poor grandmother, I can't imagine. I know she's thinking, I did everything right. I unloaded the baby first. How would I know that someone would go into my apartment and steal my grandchild that I have been entrusted with by my kid? Here's something else.
Just think how the kid feel. Can I be mad at my mama? Can I hate my mama? But this is my baby.
Right. You can't even be mad at your parent because she did the right thing. And so it's like, okay, I'm not even going to go into what else she could have done because it sends a message that she did something wrong. She did not leave the baby in the car while she was unloading the groceries. Okay, here's the problem. Well, all of that is a problem. But another major problem that I was not aware of is they couldn't issue an Amber Alert.
Why?
Because you cannot issue an Amber Alert unless you have a description of a vehicle. So this fool...
I did not know this.
Who
Are you serious?
He walked away with the baby. And so to me, that's...
Okay, I can't do it no more. Did they get the baby?
I do not know if they ever found the baby
yet.
yet.
Check in, and you don't let us know the end result. Did the baby?
The baby was still missing. The baby was still... Mr. Walker?
Where was this at?
This was in San Jose, California.
Yeah, can you please check that? Because now I'm on edge about the baby.
Okay, but here's the thing. I never knew that Amber Alerts were contingent upon having a description of the vehicle, and one news station said that they also have to have the actual license plate. I'm hoping that is incorrect.
I'm hoping all this is incorrect because we can do silver alerts.
I'm telling you, every
silver alert, they just walk away. How you gonna? We don't know where the hell they are.
Every station said if you don't have a description of the vehicle, you cannot do an Amber Alert, even though they have video footage of this man walking away with everything. They couldn't issue an Amber Alert, even though they have his face.
Okay, I think Mr. Walker has some information for us. I'm sorry.
What's the update?
Yeah,
Mr.
we have
Walker?
an update that, what does it say here? A 3-month-old baby who was kidnapped from a San Jose home Monday afternoon was found safe. Roughly 20 hours later, 3 suspects were taken into custody. And, so they did catch him. A lady at a worker from a nearby adult care facility called police when she spotted a suspicious van with a baby carrier inside.
So he walked to his vehicle, but they didn't catch, obviously they didn't catch the vehicle on camera. This is scary because basically if someone hides their vehicle, they can steal your baby and an Amber Alert cannot go out. Amber Alert is so wonderful. Even my old phone that isn't even connected to a service anymore. Yeah, my old phone, because you know the Samsungs, they never die. So I got my old Samsungs at home, okay? And when an Amber Alert is issued, old phones be going off. Because Amber Alert, you don't even have to have paid your phone bill and or anything.
Everybody's, wherever you're around, he's going beep, beep, beep.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes off.
So they need to do something about that. You can't not issue Amber Alerts because you don't have a description of the vehicle when you have video footage of the person stealing the baby. Even if you have any information, they should be able to do an Amber Alert. That obstacle is ridiculous. What?
It's 2:30.
Stacy D, we trying to save people's babies from getting snatched.
The baby is safe.
Okay.
Right,
Once she heard the baby's safe, she's like, okay, move it on. Move it on. The baby's safe. Let's get to the question of the day. All right. Borderline personality disorder. Okay, question of the day. So what exactly is borderline personality disorder? Most people have never heard of this. And how do I escape the explosive anger, ridiculous drama, and fighting? Okay.
This is good.
Now, as you all know, on our social media page, on our Facebook page for the show, there is a diagnostic tracking form on there that you all can print off to track the symptoms of this. Now, most people would be tracking the symptoms of somebody they know who they think has this, because people who think they have this, they don't want to track the symptoms. In fact, they're cussing me out right now. Okay. They will head to the station. Please,
come
people,
on if you want to.
Please, people with borderline personality disorder, please don't come to this station because the D does not care that you're mentally ill.
I'm not. That's gonna be. I'm in danger. I'm warning you. Don't come.
Don't come for us. All right. Now, as always, when we cover diagnoses, we cover them officially from the Diagnostic and Statistical
Manual, which is a therapist's Bible
of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, the most recent edition.
5th edition.
We don't play that Google mess up in here when it comes to actual diagnoses. Okay, so here's the general description, and then we're going to break down each symptom. A pervasive pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, meaning they friendships and their romantic relationships and with family. Turmoil like you never seen before.
Love mess.
Okay. Instability in self-image, feeling horrible about themselves, and affects. Affect, when you look at the word, it looks like affect. It's affect, which is the outer presentation of our mood. So our mood is how we say we feel. I feel good today. Affect is if I'm like, my affect matches my mood. It's a psychological problem when people's mood and affect do not match. Okay. But instability in their affect, which means mood swings, drastic mood swings. I'm talking off the chart. They'll be smiling at you one minute and the next minute they done slapped all the taste out
and
your
that's not going through the change for women.
It has it has nothing to do with menopause.
Nothing.
Men, do not turn to your menopausal wife and tell her you think she has borderline personality
She
disorder.
might slap you, be like, here, how about that much borderline?
If she looks up what it is and she's like, you called me that, you might get cut. All right. Instability, marked impulsivity. I'm talking, they react fast and impulsively. Like before you know it, their hands is all up around your neck.
You be like,
yes.
What's this all about?
Right. Beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 of the following. Now, there are 9 symptoms in total. A person has to have 5. So if you are thinking about someone that you know, you have someone in mind, they only need 5 of these. What I was talking about last week is that if I see one of these symptoms, that's one of my red flags. I don't do these people.
He don't even let you get to 5, just one.
You ain't got to have 5 symptoms of this.
Come on, they at least have 2.
I don't deal with these people.
2 is fine.
I don't deal with these people. Okay. Symptom number 1, frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. Here's the reason why they have that symptom. A lot of people who have this diagnosis have experienced abandonment in childhood. And although the majority of people who have abandonment in their history do not end up with a personality disorder, this particular group of people do. Okay. And so a childhood history of abandonment has caused them to have frantic efforts to avoid ever being abandoned again. Okay. Now, symptom number 2, a pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. Let me break that down. Okay. Because they always tease me on the podcast like, what are you saying? It's love-hate. They love you to death. The love being, they love you. They love you when they love you. But they will, like that, hate you, hate your guts. And it's surprising to people because it's like, oh my God, I thought we were so good. I thought that we were. Why are you attacking me right now? You hate me. What is going on?
Flip back to love.
And then they will love you again. Now, here's the reason why a lot of people struggle to identify these people early on is because when they first meet you, love you to death. Look, they come into therapy. You the best therapist they ever had. They done had about 15 therapists, mind you. Okay?
That's a red flag.
That's the red flag. Like, okay, you have. Where are these other therapists? Can I talk to them? You the best one that they ever had. All them other therapists were horrible, degenerates, lowly people who were incompetent, but not you. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
Until
you say one thing that they don't like. I ended up with a client with this diagnosis. I ended up with a borderline client. I said one thing this woman didn't like. She was verbally attacking her ex-husband in a session, and I confronted her on her behavior. She exploded. This woman forgot that I was the best damn therapist that she had ever seen. Because in that moment, she was screaming and hollering. She ended up pacing back and forth in front of the building where my office is, screaming and cursing. Other therapists whose clients was trying to make it into the building were nervous because she was pacing back and forth and screaming and cussing.
JP did that.
JP did that. My office, my office was all the way down the hall at the other end of the building, and I could hear her outside screaming and cursing.
I would have called the popo. A natural consequence for your action.
The receptionist could have called the popos, but I explained she has borderline personality disorder. And the receptionist went in her office and locked the door. But she didn't call the popo. But she's like, I ain't gonna call them on her. Because their level of rage will make the police shoot them.
Yeah, they will.
And so the receptionist was like, she'll get killed if I call her popo, but I am going to lock my door. Yeah,
because whenever it came, she would have got even higher and higher and higher.
Oh,
yeah,
she'd have snapped if the popos would have showed up.
She had heard the sirens.
Popo would have got punched right in the face.
Yeah.
And you know what happened when folks punch the popo in the face. You end up at their funeral. All right. So those are the extremes. Love, hate, love, hate. Symptom number 3, identity disturbance, markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. Oftentimes they will see themselves as horrible people, evil people, you know, and they go back and forth with that too. They bounce from extremes in this area also, okay? And this leads to another symptom coming up. Symptom number 4. Impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging. Here's an example of some areas that they can be very impulsive in. Impulsivity is doing things without thinking about the consequences and without caring, okay? Spending, they will spend the rent money on like a ring or something.
Anything. It could be something little
Clothes.
like lottery tickets.
Lottery.
Especially when the lottery get up
tickets.
real high. When it's in the 10, 20, $210 million.
That'll get the rent money and the gas and the light water money.
Everything. You just be in the dark.
Yeah.
You only need one ticket to win.
You will be in the dark messing around with them. You will come home and be like, honey, why are the lights off? I spit the
Can I get a drink
light
of
bill
water?
money.
There's no water.
This heifer bought lottery tickets. Okay. Spending, sex. I'm talking impulsively having sex with people. Like, they screw somebody before they know they screwed them. Like, who was that?
They'll be on a day nap. It'll really turn into like a hookup app. Hey, where you at? I'm coming through.
Substance abuse, reckless substance abuse.
A lot of the overdoses happen.
Yes. Reckless driving. Now, people are like, what? Driving? I'm talking... Because this diagnosis is oftentimes diagnosed alongside bipolar disorder. So I noticed some people are thinking, it sounds like he's describing bipolar disorder. They oftentimes have that diagnosis also, and the symptoms are very similar. But the reckless driving, I'm talking speeding, in and out of traffic, like just crazy driving. Binge eating. 2, 3 pizzas, 4 if they can get it in them. Okay. And so that's symptom number 4. Number 5, recurrent suicidal behavior. gestures or threats, okay? Just suicidality all over the place. Threatening to commit suicide, doing things that could kill them, a suicide attempt, self-mutilating, cutting, all of those different things. When they snap, they will do anything to themselves or to you. And so these are some of the things they do to themselves. Now, we done covered 5 symptoms. There's 4 more. 6. They only need 5. Affective instability. Remember, affect is the outer presentation of our mood, instability in that, due to a marked reactivity of mood. Now it's sounding like the bipolar disorder again. Intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, a lot of irritability, like they snap quick, or anxiety, usually lasting a few hours, but only rarely more than a few days. And this is how it is a little different from bipolar disorder, because with bipolar disorder, these symptoms have to last at least 4 days in order to be considered a hypomanic episode, and then longer than that for full manic episode. And in people who have borderline personality disorder, it can just last a few hours, okay? Which is what the D was talking about. They can be pleasant with you 1 minute and then they're enraged, but they don't stay like that for like 4 to 7 days. Like, it passes rapidly. The mood swings. Symptom number 7, chronic feelings of emptiness, just within themselves, feeling empty. And you combine that with the hopelessness that leads to the suicidal ideations. Yes, because when you feel like my life is never going to get any better, there's no point in going on, that's the hopelessness that leads to the suicidal ideations. Symptom number 8, inappropriate, intense anger. On a scale of 0 to 10, we're talking at least a 9. Or difficulty controlling the anger. Example, frequent displays of temper, constant anger, recurrent physical fights. That's why I said, please don't come down here, because they will come down here and punch Stacy D, but she will punch them back.
Yeah. You are gonna have to hit me first, because I'm gonna have to defend myself, right? So I don't catch the case.
I'm talking frequent fights due to the explosive anger. So this is more than just cursing you out. You are at risk of an attack. And
you're gonna get attacked.
And last week we talked about the Johnny Depp case, and it has continued to unfold with layers and layers of him being a victim of domestic violence. I do not know the ex-wife, so I'm not diagnosing her with anything. But what I am saying, they have described some symptoms of this diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. Okay. What was that? Symptom number 8. Number 9, the last symptom, transient stress-related paranoid ideation or severe dissociative symptoms. Let me explain what that means. Their paranoia is that you out to get them. People are out to get them. People want to do bad things to them. And so there's a lack of trust in people in general. They always think that somebody is out to get them. So those are the 9 symptoms, okay? A person needs 5 out of 9. Here's a little bit of additional information on this diagnosis. They experience intense abandonment fears, okay? Inappropriate anger when faced with realistic time-limited separation. You just go into the store. And you might get sidetracked. You see somebody in the store. You start talking. You end up coming home.
You gonna get a phone call.
Well, first you gonna get a phone call. Yeah. They gonna blow up your phone.
And hang up on you.
You gonna get the phone call. And when you get home with them groceries, 2 hours late.
Do not go home.
All them, don't even go. Take them groceries to your mama's house.
Don't even go home.
Let me tell you, it's not safe to go home.
It's not.
All those symptoms I described before will come out on you.
So as you do the garage door, he gonna be standing in front of the garage door. You'd be like,
Yes.
move so I can drive in.
Yes.
Hit the hood. I'm
The car gonna get beat up.
Yeah.
The groceries gonna get thrown all over the garage. Like, it gets bad.
It gets bad.
Because remember, we talked about the fear of abandonment. So to them, if you a couple of hours late, you trying to leave them? Who you leaving?
Who you leaving?
Oh, I bet you ain't leaving. You gonna pay for you get out of this house. Okay. And so despair. Here's another one. This is one of my red flags. Or when there are unavoidable changes in plans. Example given. Sudden despair in reaction to a therapist announcing the end of the session.
It's time for you to go. Hell no, I ain't going.
The hour's up, right?
I could pay for another hour.
They get pissed. What you mean it's time to go?
I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. I didn't finish saying what I had to say.
Do you see why therapists do not like these people?
Yes.
They need to be the last.
They require a particular type of therapy called DBT, and therapists who go through DBT training and specialize in this particular diagnosis work with them. The rest of us,
hell no.
We ain't trying to do it. Okay. Panic or fury when someone important to them is just a few minutes late. I already covered that. Or must cancel.
Or some of Gerald's friends, when we sitting waiting on him to be late, then you make us have borderline personality. Waiting on Gerald. You get borderline personality just sort of waiting on Gerald.
This is why they a red flag for me. I can't even be friends with these people. As late as I be, sometimes I run a little late. That's all I'm going to say. And these people would end up punching me in the face every time. And I don't take kindly to being punched in the face. My mama told me to immediately punch somebody who punches me. All right. And so the canceling of an appointment will send them into rage. These are not people who you made plans to hang out with them on Friday. You call them on Wednesday like,
Wednesday.
I ain't gonna be able to hang. What you mean you can't hang out? Something came up.
What the hell came up?
You made these plans with me. You knew you wasn't gonna make it. You know it.
They'll never call me again.
But hang up, because they hate you.
But they are gonna call you back.
They gonna call you back. Girl, what you doing?
You be like, what the hell?
Broad, you just cussed me out 2 hours ago. Like, are you sick? What you doing? I'm so hungry right now.
You want to go get something to eat?
You be looking at the phone like,
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm so not hungry. Okay, so there's a little bit more. Efforts to avoid abandonment may include impulsive actions such as self-mutilating or suicidal behavior. What they'll do is threaten to harm themselves if you leave them, if they think you're leaving them. And I once had a couple, the man he made it clear, I was never leaving her. We have an argument. She automatically thinks I'm going to leave her. So she starts threatening to kill herself. She grabs a knife. She's doing all that. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I just need some space.
And that's what was driving him away.
The man just needed some space. And what my thoughts were, eventually you're going to have to leave her. And be careful when you do. Because she going to track you down. It's going to be on and cracking. And your male stalkers, borderline, is a quite possible diagnosis that they are having. They cannot let go. You don't get to leave them. You will get stalked. These people don't play. That's why you have to identify if these are a red flag for you, because some people might like all this drama. For those of us who don't, you learn to recognize these symptoms as early on as possible and cut ties and run for the hills.
Run.
And you say, please don't ever lose my number. Lose it. Because I don't want to be stalked.
I actually might change my number, and it's been the same number for over 25 years.
to get away from one, because they will stalk you. A pattern of unstable and intense relationships. They may idealize potential caregivers or lovers. Okay. At the first or second meeting, you just met them and it starts off intense. And the reason why a lot of people don't weed them out is because people get swept up in being put on a pedestal immediately by someone that they just met. It's like, I just met this incredible guy and he idealizes me. I'm like his little queen already.
Watch out.
Watch out. Don't be somebody's queen after they just met you. That's not a good sign. Okay? Be careful. And so, second meeting, demand to spend a lot of time together. They start off with that high demand. Like, they want to be. I once knew someone, he met this one. She moved into his crib within like a month. He didn't even know she was living with him. Oh, yeah.
How he didn't know that she was living there?
She thought he thought she was just spending the night. Every night. And then he quickly
Did he
realized,
ever go over to her house?
She got rid of her crib. By the time he figured out that she was living with him, he couldn't put her out. She had nowhere to go.
Not my fault.
Intense. Okay, and here's something else that they will do. In attention to demanding lots of time together, share the most intimate details early in the relationship. They'll tell their whole life story and you've known them like a week. However, they may switch quickly from idealizing you, as we said before, idealizing other people, to devaluing you or them. Feeling that the other person does not care enough. This is what they will oftentimes accuse you of. You don't love me. If you cared more about me. And it gets, yes, you don't love them enough. You don't care enough.
Do it again, Joe. Do it again.
Let me tell you, it gets intense. Nothing you do is enough. Nothing. You love me more. You wouldn't do this. They saying this while clutching a knife. Okay. These individuals are prone to sudden and dramatic shifts in their view of others. That is also a red flag. Even if they don't do it with you, but you notice that quick, drastic shift. This person was once their friend and now they hate their guts, but now they love them to death again. Your turn is coming. Do not think you are an exception.
Because you're not.
You're not. And that client that I was talking about that ended up pacing back and forth, cussing in front of my office, it actually took her months before she reacted to me like that. Oh, she reacted to a lot of other people like that. The caseworker, they would be nervous going to court. Like, okay, is she going to flip out in court again?
Probably so.
She had never reacted like that to me, but because... one, I knew what her diagnosis was, and I talked to her about it and was trying to help her manage it, but I knew my day was going to come. And then when it came, it was heated. Okay. Individuals with borderline personality disorder display impulsivity in these areas. We already covered that. Okay. 8 to 10% of them do complete suicide. So that's the other problem.
That number is really high.
That's high. You cannot take it lightly and dismiss it as the diagnosis when they say they're going to kill themselves, because then they're going to show you they mean business. So if they think you're not taking it seriously enough, they will show you. 8 to 10% of them will kill themselves.
And a lot of times it's first homicide and then it's suicide.
Yeah, they might decide to take you first and then take care. But the threats of suicide are so common. These self-destructive acts are usually precipitated by threats of separation. Like we said before, if they think you're trying to leave them, you're trying to create distance from them in the friendship, in the romantic relationship, you gonna die. I'ma die, you gonna die. Somebody gonna die. Somebody gonna die because you're trying to get away. Now, this is what's interesting. Last week on the show, I read a text from a person seeking to start therapy. This person didn't even know me. And I talked about that as a red flag.
Haven't been to a now therapy session. Just trying to get in.
Yes. Now, that person sent me another message. This is the back and forth. Mind you, I don't even know this person. I spot these symptoms. I talked about it on the show because she went off on me in the text message. Then she sent this one. Hello, Mr. Payne. My name is so-and-so and so. We messaged a few days ago, and I may have been too unruly. But you are the first therapist I made contact with. This process is overwhelming. I really need and want help. Please, Mr. Payne. Please.
Don't get into the sauce.
This is the same person whose text I read last week who checked me, and this woman don't even know me.
She checked him.
Okay. And so here's what my response was. I'm sorry, but I don't think that it will be a good fit. Here's some other options for you to try. I referred her to some other people. Get away from me. Because I ain't the one. Now, listen to this. This is when I texted you. Because I was like, why am I getting all these borderline text messages? What is going on? I called the text borderline, okay? I'm getting borderline text. So here's the text I got. Hi, Gerald. This is so-and-so and so. I'm looking for emotional support over lots of sessions while I talk about suicide practically the entire time. I tried hospitalization and it doesn't help. Do you have any availability? The first text from a person.
Well, at least she was honest and put it out there.
She put that borderline. She put the borderline up front. She's like, listen,
I'm going to let you know.
I need your therapy. Let me let you know, I'm going to be talking about suicide the whole time.
But I'm going to come a whole lot of times, though, too. a lot of times.
And then I'm going to cuss you out. And then,
but don't take it personal, though.
Okay, so here's my response. I said, hello, so-and-so and so.
So-and-so and so-and-so.
And then I copied and pasted a message. This says, this is what I send to everybody who contacts me to start therapy, okay? Now, even though I knew this was a borderline person, I did not think this was going to get me told off. But this is what I sent. Here's some general information. Sessions between the hours of 12 to 3 can be scheduled within a week. Sessions between the hours of 5 to 8 average 2 to 4 weeks to get in. All sessions are via telehealth video conferencing due to the pandemic, and I do not know when I will return to the office. General message, because she sent me the message letting me know that she wants to schedule sessions and she gonna spend the whole time talking about being suicidal, and if I try to refer her for hospitalization, she's not going to agree to it because she's already been to the hospital probably 30 times, and it doesn't work. This was her response to my message. All right, yeah, I guess I'm looking for something that isn't a copy paste. She's mad I copied and pasted a message.
It was not personal enough.
Right. My mistake here is expecting you to respond to something that isn't a question. I suppose I should say instead, are you willing to perform the task that I'm looking for? Now, she done checked me.
She done checked, mate.
And I said, ooh, the borderline.
So he came back. And he came back with something else, you guys. What did you say?
Borderline text. So I said, if you're struggling with suicidal ideations, then you needed that information on my availability up front. I'm sorry that I'm unable to meet your needs and expectations for treatment. I wish you the best in your search. Do take care. Get the hell away from me. I didn't say that part.
But what did she respond back? Because she responded back.
So your answer is no? Thanks. And then she went away.
Oh.
Borderline personality disorder. It is a red flag for me. It's a red flag for most humans. We covered it on the show today so that you can be familiar with the symptoms and be able to identify them early on. That's our show for today.
Wow, it was a good one too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wish we didn't get to our bonus segment. And there is something I wanted to kind of talk about with the bonus segment, the dating experience. We're going to come back to that.
Don't worry about it. I took a vacation.
You went on a date.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you didn't go?
No.
I was like, you never told us when to show
No,
up.
I was waiting for you guys to tell me where. No, I'm on a vacation. The dating app is too overwhelming. It's too much.
We do need a break from the dating app.
Yeah, because these men out here are crazy, and I just like.
They are so borderline.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like scary, especially since they can Google me and find out where I live. But let me tell you something. You come up on me after I go up in my driveway in my garage, I got something for you.
She do got something for you.
I got something for you.
You don't want her to pull out. She keep it on her because we know y'all listening.
Exactly.
That's our show for today. Thank you for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And pray about everything. But if you run up on me, I got something for you.
Thank you. And God bless.
Bye-bye.